Howdy, howdy. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Pipes, and this is Midwestern Motorbike. Welcome back to the channel. Like I said before, thanks for tuning in. So today is Veterans Day, and thank you for all the veterans that are out there that have done what you've done to serve this country. I myself am a veteran. I don't usually take part in a lot of veteran free things, especially when it comes to all the food stuff, but today the Harley-Davidson Museum is complimentary for veterans. That one I will take advantage of. So that's where I am today. I am at the Harley-Davidson Museum in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Now, I come here all the time for the store, for the restaurant, for bike nights. However, I have not actually been inside the museum probably in over 10 years. And I think it's about time. I haven't been in there in a while. I'm pretty sure they have a lot of new exhibits that weren't there the last time I was there. So I am here to visit the campus again. Obviously you see how desolate it is when it's not summertime and there's not a few hundred bikes around. So we're going to take a walk around the museum. Yes, there are many videos of people going through the museum. Hopefully I can make this one a little bit unique, maybe not, but I figure I'd take you along while I go to the coolest museum that I know, because it is a Harley-Davidson museum. So all right, I'm here right outside the original, well, mock-up of the original shed from Harley and the Davidsons when they first got together and started building bikes. So let's go over and check out this museum. Now, down where I live on the border of Wisconsin, we got about 5 inches of snow. Here in Milwaukee, no snow. Either way, I still don't have my motorcycle back. Again, like if you've seen in other videos, I'm gonna make a whole video on that whole saga of what's going on with my bike. If I got a new bike, if I'm not gonna get a new bike. But for now, I figured, you know what, let's get out, let's see some things, get some fresh air. It is a warm, brisky morning here in Milwaukee. I think it's about 38 degrees right now. Checking things out, checking out the campus. Now, if you ever get the chance to come to Milwaukee and come here to the museum, keep going a little east. A lot of people I notice don't come down here, but it is right on the Milwaukee River that leads right into Lake Michigan. There's a nice little walkway here. It goes from here all the way down to there. There's a cool little back area here by the museum where you can sit outside and hang out, have a cigar. They got checkers still sitting out there. I don't know if you can really see it. And they got the back entrance into the other part of the museum. Not a lot of people ever really come back this way. You can actually walk around the whole entire museum, but it's beautiful down here. Obviously it isn't right now because hands are freezing right now, but most people never really make it past the moto bar to come this way or past the statue. Keep going, it's only another few feet to the river. Walk around, kind of get away from the crowd if you want to, if that's something you feel you need to do. But yes, the whole entire museum outside is a wonderful place. Obviously the coolest part is inside the museum. But don't ever forget to just come down and take a look at the Milwaukee River. It's absolutely wonderful. There's usually kayakers and boats come on by, say hi, and it's cool. So make sure you take part of the whole entire museum, not the museum moto bar and then take off. You know, walk around, see everything. You already made it all this way to come here. Might as well walk around every single inch of this place. So, but all right, about to head into the museum and see what kind of new exhibits they have since I've been here. Not a fan of walking up 8 flights of stairs to get to the museum. These old veteran knees don't like it. All right, let's see what we get into. Here it is, the one that's on all the videos. Serial number 1. Serial number 1, yeah. So I know it's kind of hard to see, but here are some other models and motorcycles that were competing against Harley in 1905. Yeah, obviously you have Indian, of course. Then you have one called a Holly. Then you have a Harley-Davidson, Pope, Gear, and a Kurtless double cycler. Hopefully you can kind of see that. Obviously, other than Harley and Indian, all these kind of went away. Sorry, I need my reading glasses. But very cool, man. And obviously when I started the video I was by a mock-up of the shed, but here's a picture of the original shed. Pretty cool, man. Who would have known that in that tiny shed was going to change the entire world? Stroke of genius. Still waiting for mine. You know what I always found very cool is the way they used to market these things. Because these were marketed as like something you could use all the time, every day, doing all kinds of things. Now they're just kind of marketed as a good time. But back then, it seems like Harley was more than just a good time. It was like, this is, don't buy a car, buy a Harley-Davidson and move around on that. So cool.
Gas and oil tanks. When you put a holding 1.5 gallons of gasoline and 2.5 quarts of oil.
You know, I just had a thought that might be interesting. So in this photo is pretty much the workers, right? Because obviously when you get bigger, you got to hire people to do your thing. So all the mechanics and tech workers of early days Harley-Davidson, I wonder if there's any lineage from these guys. Obviously everyone talks about Willie G and his great-grandson and everyone who's still running Harley-Davidson. I wonder if the original workers of Harley who are making these bikes, working on these bikes in Milwaukee, have great-grandchildren that are mechanics for Harley. Maybe there are, maybe they're not, but It'd be pretty cool, right? Everyone always talks about the Harley-Davidson lineage. What about the original workers lineage? Are they still into bikes? I don't know. What do you think? You know, on these old bikes, you always notice that on the back fender, they have a little hinge so you can lift it up to get your tire off easier. I think they should bring that back. I think that was always a little cool feature. It might not look as cool because it doesn't have that clean look, but to be able to get off the back tire like that, nice and easy, that'd be a really cool thing to still have. Maybe on the heritages, that'd be pretty cool. See, now I could be a mechanic. I could just watch that video over and over again, and now I can take apart my engine. That's pretty cool. I'm not mechanically inclined at all. I can maybe change my oil if I'm lucky. So all this stuff is really fascinating to me. I give it up to the techs and mechanics. But we are now in the famous engine room. What's your guys' favorite engine? Is it the Panhead? Is it the Knuckle? Is it the Evo? Or maybe you like the Milwaukee 8s. Maybe the brand new engine is your favorite. What's your favorite engine? I mean, as far as me, for looks and aesthetics, I would have to go for the Panhead. And plus Elvis owned a Panhead, so always a fan if Elvis is a fan. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I always hear that the Evolution from 84 to 99 was like Harley's best engine ever created. So riddle me this. Why do they move on from that then? Probably cost, and got to keep moving and grooving with the times. But I mean, if you got an engine that works, that's really with like any vehicle, I guess, because the best Ford F-150 you can get is from like 97 to like 2003. If those are the best engines ever built in those trucks, why move on from that? Why not just keep making it if it just doesn't break? But like I said, obviously, you know, changing with the times, but was the Evolution the best Harley engine ever made? You tell me. Now, obviously, if you watch the YouTuber Blockhead, he made a modern version, I believe, of this specific Harley model. But I gotta say that the Knucklehead is where I really start thinking that the bikes are starting to look cool. Now, those over there, don't get me wrong, history. But, I mean, kind of blocky, kind of basic, but once the 30s hit, man, these Harleys really started taking shape and looking really good. And this one specifically, this paint job on here and how beefy it looks, and obviously all came with springers, but yes, as soon as the mid-30s hit, man, that's when I really when I really started liking the Harley bikes. They started coming together really nicely. Gotta love the OD green. Oh yes. Fire. Like I was saying earlier, what's cool about these old Harleys is they use them in the service industry. Like I said, now they're just good time bikes, but back then people ran businesses with these things. So how cool would it be if people still did this? Imagine if like you had a washer and dryer repair guy or a bait shop guy or some sort of small service person that would come to your house to service something you needed, and they came on a trike, but the trike was converted into like a service vehicle. Or you know, you're stranded on the side of the road and you just need a quick fix, like someone would show up on a trike to service what you needed, and it's converted to a service vehicle again. I think that would be pretty cool, man. Like, it's just so fascinating to see that these Harleys back then were used for everything. They weren't just used to bar hop or go to rallies or get some wind therapy. Like, people made a living, they paid their bills riding these things every day. Obviously police officers still do, but as far as the service industry goes, it's pretty fascinating that Harleys were used for that, and it really built their business up quite a bit. So sometimes I wish they would bring that back. That'd be pretty cool. Anybody watching? Were you ever old enough to actually see Evel Knievel live on television do the jumps? I think that was before my time, but that'd be pretty cool. They should bring that back too. The most memorable thing I remember when it comes to a stunt is on primetime television, Bart Simpson was going to jump the Grand Canyon. That was about as cool as it got for me as a kid. But it would have been cool to see Evel Knievel do that stuff as a kid, but I think that was before my time. It's just so cool that what people use these Harleys for. I mean, it's almost kind of like me hopping on my Ultra, throwing the wife on the back and be like, hey, let's go down this wooded trail or go bushwhacking, you know, through the north woods of Wisconsin on the Ultra. You know, it seems kind of funny now to think about that. But that's what these guys are doing. They're taking these Harleys and being like, yeah, I get it. You know, I could ride it to work, but, you know, there's a camping spot here in BLM land or up in these national forests. Let's go find it. So just the people back then, man, what they did with these things and where they brought them and what they did with them, you know, compared to what, I mean, yeah, we build choppers now and do jumps and burnouts and things like that, but you don't see people taking, well, I guess you do. I mean, YouTube has everything, but now it's just kind of more for views on YouTube. Like, look what I did with my Harley back then. This is just what they did. It wasn't like a, oh, that sounds weird to just take your bike and put it on a raft and canoe down a river just so you can ride on some island. But hey, man, it's pretty cool. Now this is interesting. This photo here, right, on this awesome bike with this kidney belt, right? I'm like, I don't know what's up with that. So I read it, and not only was it stylish that Bessie here wore it, but it was functional on long rides on a hardtail. So now I'm thinking, instead of buying some sort of saddleman seat or a backrest, I wonder if I just throw on a kidney belt, wrap it tight, if that would help me with my lower back pain when I'm riding. You don't see that anymore. Oh, I should give that a shot. Go to the gym, ask some bro if I could borrow his kidney belt to do a few miles on the scoot. That's pretty interesting stuff. Now this is a cool jersey. Yeah, it's a Harley-Davidson, but it's yellow and blue. These are also old school Packard uniform colors. Go Pack, go. Ah yes, the famous tank wall here at the museum. I probably could at least spend most of the day just looking at these tanks, man. Now, I'm pretty sure there's lots of videos out there that have this tank wall. I'm pretty sure you probably zoomed in on all the ones you like, but I do have a favorite of all of them here. I'm going to explain it in a second. But the paint jobs on some of these tanks, man, are so cool. Some of them are so simple, and to me, simple sells. You don't have to really go out on a paint job for me to be impressed. Now, do you guys prefer a painted badge on your tank, or do you like the more stickered, like badge on your tank? Now I'm going to do some jump cuts here to show you what my favorite tanks are. This one, that one. Now I know it's AMF, but that's pretty retro. I dig that. And now I will show you what my favorite tank is. And that is this one right here. Now, reason why it's my favorite, because I used to own a bike with that exact tank on it, and it is this one right here. Now, that particular bike I used to own was on an aftermarket frame, not a Harley frame, but it was a 2001 Softail that had matching tins, but it had that tank on it. So that's why it's my favorite, because I actually had a bike that had a tank on it that's actually in the Harley-Davidson Museum. So, there you go. Now, I guess for an honorable mention, it could be this one, because it's the only one here that has purple on it. And I love a purple bike. Someday I will own a purple Harley-Davidson. Don't ask me why I like it. Oh, you know what? There's another purple one right here. Let me show you. Throw that on the list. There, it's on the list. Favorite. Right there. All right. On to the next. I mean, I do like the Harley 100th badge. I mean, that is infamous. And actually talking with a dealer, he said what made the 100th anniversary bike, or the 100th anniversary in general, when it comes to those slew of bikes, is that was the first time you could, in a long time, where people could just walk into a dealership and leave with a brand new bike. Now, dealerships always had used bikes, but when you wanted a brand new bike, sometimes you had to wait a very long time to actually get your bike, until the 100th, because they made a slew of them. And so at that time, you could actually just go in to Harley-Davidson and pick out a brand new bike and ride it home the same day. Before the 100th anniversary in 2003 was a rare thing. And you could do it on occasion, but it wasn't very accessible like it is now. Like now, you can go into any Harley-Davidson dealership, get on a brand new bike, and leave that day. Before 2003, from what it was explained to me, that it really wasn't that normal to do that. So. Now that's a cool dynamite glide right there. Now here we are. So since I'm not quite a famous YouTuber, I don't get the red carpet treatment where you get to actually go in there and look around on a private tour. I'm not that cool yet, but at least on this floor, you can kind of get a little sneak peek of all the bikes that are back here in the archives. Look at that one. You know, for me, I know it's the Harley Homecoming every year now, but for years and years and years, it never really was the Harley Homecoming. You know, it was like every 5 years they would have the big one. So 100th was 3, you know, and then 2008 was 5, or, you know, and so on and so forth. There's only recently where now they're having it every single year, which I think is a great thing. Really do. But maybe, hopefully, I'll be one of the people that actually can get past this door and actually go look at a lot of these bikes past this door someday. But for now, I'll be like a regular schlub here and just kind of drool from the gates. Oh, look at all that cool stuff, man. It's so cool. That one right there, man. What is that, like a 19... Well, that looks like, oh, you know what? That's one of those Milwaukee 8s that's made to look like a 1950s Harley-Davidson with the red tint on the windshield and the studs on the back and the old seat. I don't know if you can see it through these gates here. But yeah, hopefully as you're watching this, you're kind of looking at what I'm looking at. Hopefully you can see it. Obviously, if you're not here in person, is the best way to look at this stuff. GoPros don't do everything I see justice. Cool, little Screaming Eagle. It's got the dents inside on the gas tank for the knees to squeeze. So, all right, well, before I get too jealous that I can't go back there, let's go. Ooh, look at this. Look at all those engines. You know, if they're just sitting around, you know, hook a brother up, man. I mean, I wouldn't really know what to do with it, but it would look pretty cool in my garage, and I can, you know, drink beer and look at it. Little kids area. So if you could bring your little ones and watch them push this button. Oh yeah. You got a panhead here? sounds good. Nice. You know, also nice is standing in this corner because it's so cold outside. You can actually feel the cold coming from this window, which is nice for me because I'm starting to sweat. It's warm in this museum. Model S. This, I'm telling you people, if you haven't made it to the museum, make it to the museum. Fly in, stay the night, spend the day here, if you love Harley-Davidson culture. Or if you love museums, whatever. All right, now we're talking. Now we're talking. Hell yeah, brother. Well, did they make an announcement about the Sprint? I'm very curious to see if they bring the Sprint back, how well it will do. I mean, obviously they have millions of dollars to put into marketing and research to see if people even would be interested. But it seems like there was enough and they want to make it back on the dealership floors. So I really hope it does well. I want Harley to survive, thrive, and keep doing what they're doing and come out with awesome motorcycles. So I can buy the used ones 5 years later at a discounted price. I'm not too much of a history buff. All I know is that AMF is pretty much what almost ruined Harley. But it sounded like they really try to come out with some cool ideas to move Harley forward. Yeah, granted, wasn't an S model or, you know, something you can just rip down the highway, you know, like golf carts and mopeds and a Sprinter and, you know, things. I see that they were trying. They got a boat, Harley-Davidson boat. You know, you can't blame them for trying to market Harley. I mean, that's what really Yamaha does, right? I mean, they make everything from motorcycles to guitars to keyboards to trumpets. So, really can't blame Harley for trying to do all kinds of things. But I'm glad they're still around. What y'all think about this fairing right here? The FXR fairing. In the video that will be coming hopefully soon, I was actually looking at a bike with possibly a fairing like that. Pretty cool. How many of you would rip this right now? If it's free, it's for me. I wouldn't buy it. But if I'm given the chance, you better believe it. That's crazy. 80. What the RR is a 131. Burt's or BVO is a 135. It's an 80. It's just crazy. Just more. Who knows what like a stock Harley-Davidson is going to be in 10 years. You could go in and buy a Road Glide that's stock 131 eventually. It's just, you know, we're going there. You know it's going there. And if a stock is a 131, what's the next level? Because you got to keep leveling up, right? You can't stop. You can't plateau. But that'd be very interesting. Imagine that, walking in and getting a 2030 Road Glide RR 131 stock. Like it's just model floor you can get with 3 different paint schemes. Yeah. See if you can see my signature on there. You can't because it's not on there. It'd be cool though. You know what really sucks about coming to the museum at this time of the year? This museum hypes you up, man. When you get done with the Bucky's Museum, you just want to get on your Harley and just rip it. And I can't. For one, my bike is in the shop. And 2, it's like 38 degrees out right now. And which wouldn't stop most people, I guess. But, you know, my point is, it just kind of sucks coming to a place like this, getting hyped up on Harley, and you can't go ride your own Harley afterwards. It's... You know, also going through this museum too is, I want to say it's hard necessarily, but you know, this museum opened up in June of 2008, and I believe I came here for the first time that first year it was open. But my dad really would have loved to come here and see all of this, man. I know I mentioned it in an earlier video, but my dad is what started my love for Harley-Davidson. Now, he never ended up having to own one. Late in his life, when he got cancer, someone offered to donate their Harley to him, but by that time he wasn't able to ride anyway. But I don't know. I wish I could be walking through this museum with my pops right now. Now this, I did not know that there's actually a police motorcycle bike badge with U.S. Secret Service. It's pretty cool. I mean, I get it, like when whoever requires Secret Service comes into town, there's always police motorcycles that lead the way. I had no idea that they had their own badging on the tank. All right, now for the star of the show, my man, the king. Now, if you haven't noticed by the shirts I wear, my patch, and dimensions, I'm a huge Elvis fan. Or I always have been as a kid. And surprisingly, I do like his 50s rock and roll stuff. But I dig his Vegas stuff a lot too. Don't want to get too much into that. But yes, Elvis fan. I'm proud of it. And I was really hoping that this bike was still here. Now this bike behind me, it's like a chocolate paint job. I don't think I've ever seen chocolate on Harley before. Maybe one of the anniversary models had like that copper brownish, if that counts. But yeah, look at this. It's like a nice chocolate color. The ram handlebars, but not the flashiest, but unique just because of the brown paint. Very cool. I showed you my favorite tank. They actually have a bike here with that tank on there. 1986 Heritage Softail. I forgot they had that here. That's cool. My favorite tank is actually on a bike in the museum. Now I'm regretting selling that bike. But ooh. That's the other tank I like. It's an AMF, but I like that red, white, and blue kind of, and it's got the boat taillight. It just speaks of its time. Even look at this crazy exhaust. But there's the man himself. Saved it all. Him and a group of ne'er-do-wellers. I actually like the badging, or the little Harley-Davidson little thing. That's very cool. Very subtle. Just the little things make Harleys really cool. I don't need the grand scheme paint jobs. I don't know if I'm going to hurt people's feelings with this one, but I can't stand flame paint jobs on motorcycles. There's not one that I like. I don't know, something about it's not real flames. Now if you want to be Ghost Rider and light your bike on fire and then ride it, that'd be cool. It's kind of like barbed wire tattoos. But anyway, if that's your thing, so be it. But I don't personally dig flame paint jobs on motorcycles. The very short-lived live wire. Anybody ever get a chance to actually take one of these out on the road? Any V-Rod fans out there? Never was a fan. I mean, if it's yours, I mean, it's cool. It's got like the fat boy type solid, front rim. Bikes and Beards YouTube channel did a really cool video on that one right there that I just showed you. Apologize if I mumble or whatever. So I did not know until right now. I would love to have this bike right here. I think I'm gonna make a video on the top 10 Harleys I wish I had, and this one wasn't even on the list. I'm gonna have to bump one off to put this one on there, just because, like I told you before, it's one of my favorite tanks. It's AMF, kind of got that America thing going on. Wow, this is very cool, man. I'm kind of nerding out right now. I had no idea that this was a reissued color. 2006 FXD 135 Super Glide V-Twin. Oh, they made 3,500 of these. And unique 35th anniversary medallions, paint, and decals. This is number 1 of 3,500. First year that the 6-speed cruise drive motorcycle transmission became standard on Dyna models. So 2006 FXD at 3,500. So that just lets me know that if I do find one, I probably won't be able to afford it anyway. Now this part of the museum has a few models of Harley-Davidsons that you can sit on. If I can find it, I'm going to show you a picture of one of the motorcycles that was originally here when the museum first opened in 2008. I think it's me sitting on like a 1940s military Harley-Davidson. So hopefully I can find that. If not, that's what it was. Right, well that was it for the museum. Now we're going to head over to the motor bar and get ourselves some early lunch. Hopefully I got some good footage for you guys, some cool things that I found interesting. I know there's a lot of YouTube videos here at the Harley-Davidson Museum. Hopefully I brought you some value with mine. But it's not over yet. Now we're heading over to the motor bar and restaurant. Feels so good out here. Whoa! That's authentic right there. Watch my hat blow off. I'm not gonna edit that out at all. Yeah, it's like 38 windy. It feels good because that museum was warm. Hopefully this wind isn't blowing out my microphone. But all right, we're about to head into the motor bar to get some food. Check back with you in a little bit. But like I said earlier in my video, today, as I'm filming this, it is November 11th, Veterans Day. And again, I want to thank all those service members out there, men and women, in all the branches for your service. I myself have served as well. Thank you so much for your sacrifice. Thank you so much for signing up and doing what most people will not. All right, you guys are awesome no matter what. They can take a lot of things away from us. The records can be broken, but one thing they can't take away from us is our pride of serving our country and what we did. So salute to all of you out there. Happy Veterans Day. All right, here's the food situation. Got the Moto Burger, medium rare, nice and pink, nice and juicy. All right, now it's time to get to it. All right, lunch was delicious. Nice thick burger. I'm more of a fan of a smash burger, but that one was delicious. Now we're gonna head over to the Harley-Davidson Museum shop. See what they got in there. I need this robe. I need it. It's not a want, it's a need.
Oh, this is it.
Yeah, that's it. Street Bob?
Yeah. It fits. I got right on it. Shoulder height.
Looks good on him, right? And if you notice from what I say in my other videos, it's a purple bike. And I love a purple bike. I think this is purple denim. But yeah, which is just a matte paint, but
yeah, it's got a nice matte finish to it.
on you. Looks good. Now this shop never used to be here. The first few years that this museum was open, this was for special exhibits. Now I believe that special exhibits is over in that little part called the garage. But yeah, this is where I went one time to a filming of found footage, and all it was this guy that had a 1950s off-trail Harley-Davidson, and he just kind of went on a camping trip with his Harley. That was pretty cool. What do you all think about the breakout?
Breakout, huh?
It's fun. Now on to the next stop. The day is not over yet. All right, well, since we went down to the museum and it's really not that far away, I am going back to the House of Harley. There's a bike here that I'm interested in and I want to see it for myself. Website pictures can only do it so much justice. I like to sit on it, take a look at it, all the things. You doing all right? All right, another bike I'm looking at. I want to go Road King. Hopefully I can make it happen. Alrighty, that is going to be it for this video. Hopefully when I get done editing it, it'll be all good. So thanks for hanging out with me today on Veterans Day here at the Harley-Davidson Museum and House of Harley. And yeah, Godspeed.